Starbucks recently announced an initiative to go green by eliminating all the straws for their cups, and we're kind of replacing it with a lid that looks like the coffee cups, the one you can sip from. And this town actually also banned plastic water bottles a while back. So what is your opinion on these Going Green initiatives? Do you think they're effective?
Well, actually, I carry a metal straw with me at all times, so I am entirely supportive of this, and I wish that more companies would start doing this sort of thing.
And so since you carry a metal straw, I'm assuming that you are kind of more pro-green, I guess. Yeah. Are there any sort of things you're thinking of now that towns should do to go more green?
Well, obviously it depends on what, the majority of people in a town desire, but I would love to see more encouragement of reusing cups and general discouragement of single-use plastics.
I'm a big fan of anything that's organic and, sustainability, environmentally conscious. I just think, it's unfortunate for those people that want to, they want to pay less, so they would ignore some of these things. But, I'm a big fan of these things. I always try to get the paper bag at Whole Foods instead of the plastic bag. It sounds really small, but, if enough people like me do, a little bit, then maybe we'll do some good.
I know there's actually a town next over called Bedford. They eliminated all plastic bags recently, so now, if you go to TJ Maxx, Marshalls, there's always paper bags. Do you think Concord should do that?
Sure. Yeah, back in New York, where I'm from, the New York City Sanitation Department, they actually started handing out compost bins to all the private residences. So for a city like New York to be able to do it, I think Concord can do it too.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's maybe especially amazing if a larger corporation like Starbucks takes an initiative like that, since they have so much power and impact to make those kind of changes, unanimously across the nation, hopefully. Or it seems like Starbucks has a lot of kind of big thinking in that regard. So I would be pleased with that brand as well for doing that.
Hopefully other companies will follow lead, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Would make me support them more than I would otherwise. So it's a win-win for them and for consumers. Yeah, sure.
So recently, Starbucks announced an initiative to go green, and that includes eliminating plastic straws from all of their cups. And this is to make their unit more compostable and more recyclable. What is your opinion on these sort of go green initiatives? And this town actually also had a ban where we're not allowed to buy plastic water bottles here anymore. So what do you think about those measures? Who'd like to go first?
I totally support going green. We don't use a lot of plastic stuff at our house. We try not to, at least. And Brattleboro, we're from Brattleboro, and they just recently banned plastic bags, which is great.
Yeah, we had a town called Bedford that recently did that too. Do you know of any more initiatives at Brattleboro? Is that where you're from?
Yeah, it's in
Okay. Do you know of anything else that they're doing there to go green?
Do you know of anything, honey? No, I don't. But what I think when I hear that Starbucks is banning straws, I think it's a good sign because it means the message is getting out. But I don't think it's enough. What was the statistic we heard yesterday? That in the ocean, plastic straws make up like 1% or 3% of the plastic, whereas fishing nets make up 46% of the plastic in the oceans. So it's a start.
I think that eliminating plastic is an effective way to improve the environment. I've been hearing about the harm that plastic straws can inflict on ocean life. So I've actually been trying to reduce my use of plastic straws. So I think it's good that Starbucks is trying to encourage people to do the same.
Yeah, there are some people we've talked to so far, they talk about carrying around a metal straw. Do you think, is that something that you do or thinking of doing?
Yes, I have been thinking about doing it. I've been doing some Amazon research.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good to hear.
I do think they're effective. I think the straws could be a problem for some people, but probably not for most people.
What if I were to tell you that they do still offer them, but you just have to ask for them?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Starbucks recently announced an initiative to go green, and that includes eliminating all their plastic straws from their beverages. This town also banned plastic water bottles a while back. What is your opinion on these measures? Do you think they're effective?
It's a step in the right direction. There's a lot of pollution, there's a lot of plastic in the ocean, and we've got a long way to go. So I think any little thing to begin the process of trying to eliminate more plastic is probably a good thing.
Starbucks recently announced an initiative to go green to make their units more compostable, recyclable, and that includes getting rid of all their plastic straws and replacing the lid with the sort of like coffee cup lid. What is your opinion on those sort of measures? Do you think they're effective?
I do think they're effective, and I think they're necessary.
Is there anything else that you think towns should be thinking or considering moving forward with?
A lot of towns have already done away with plastic bags, and I think that recycling is really going forward full force, so I'm very much a proponent of all of that. Every little bit helps.
I think they can be effective, but I think it's also a lot of marketing. But it's okay if it helps the environment, why not?
I think they should go much further. I mean, the straw is just the beginning, so if they want to really show that they're going to become green, they should revisit all of their infrastructure to become very green.
Okay, and do you think that getting rid of the straws is a good start at least?
Well, I think it's a marketing news, and if they really want to go further, they should prove that they can go further than that.
So you think it might kind of be just for show?
Yes, I think
I see. So they should be doing much more.
Yes.